Gokugenyo everyone, the Starlight Let's Player is here, and welcome to the final part of Smile Pretty Cure Let's Go Marchen World, thank God. Yes, we're finally at the end game of this game. I was thinking about making an extra video to show off some of the extra stuff, but I'm pretty much drained of this game at this point. There's only so many games that I can play where, you know, either way, but anyway, this is the final part. This time we're playing as Miyuki once again, and for this story we're going through Little Red Riding Hood. And yes, I've heard of this story before. You know, Little Red off to deliver goodies to a grandmother, but it turns out to be, however, she came over there to. It turns out, it was pretty much the big bad wolf. So I think she had to fend off against him, and she was able to find her grandmother. At least that's what I've heard. I don't have the best one. I don't have the best memory when it comes to trying to remember all of these fairy tales. As you may have noticed throughout these playthroughs, well, this one in particular. So I did watch the movie Hoodwink, cause that pretty much gave me the knowledge of it, and I actually enjoyed that. I actually enjoyed the movie of Little Red. Hell, if you actually want to, if you want, you can try and check out the Shrek movies, cause I think mainly Shrek 2, I believe. I'm not sure, but yeah. Although I did play the video game of Shrek 2, and that was the game where you can actually play as Little Red and the Big Bad Wolf as well. The movie series did have a lot of references from certain stories, from certain fairy tales. Hell, it even has they even had an old castle called Far Far Away. Because they did a lot of references from Cinderella to Sleeping Beauty to Little Red, of course. Hell, I've even seen lots of different variants from Little Red. I know there was a character based off Little Red from I believe Darkstalkers. Yeah, Darkstalkers. As well as also I believe during the beginning of the 5th season of Food Wars, where Yuki brought out her specialty dish, and they referenced her as Little Red, except she was in a Little Red costume, but with a shotgun. That was the best. Now that was easily one of the best parts. That was one of the best parts of one of those episodes. So yeah, if you want, you can check out Food Wars. That is an anime that I recommend. One of the best cooking anime I have ever seen. And of course, Little Red runs into the Big Bad Wolf. But I always wonder, what is your favorite fairy tale out of all the ones that we've played through throughout? Out of all the ones that we've played through throughout the this game, which one happens to be your favorite? But yeah, again, there's so many missed opportunities they had with this game. They had Golden Locks and the Three Bears. They had the Three Little Pigs, the Little Mermaid, of course. Like there's so many good stories that they could have implemented into this game. Then again, I can kind of understand why they only limited to 8 stories. And this story is a bit longer, and you'll see why once we get to the minigames. So I think I'm gonna spend the rest of August to relax, and then once we get to September, I'll get started on part 4 of the Happiness Charge review. This time I won't set a date on when the next part will come out, because I don't want to announce it and then immediately I will be like a whole week or 2 late like I did last time. So I apologize for actually being late on part 3 of the Happiness Charge. I had a lot to work on when it came to that video, particularly. That ended up becoming my second longest video in this excuse me. That became my second longest video in the whole review. But anyways, we're going back into the minigames, and once again, this is a flower picking minigame. You gotta pick the right flower that they show on the top right screen. Once again, I am not a fond of how they are repeating some of the exact same minigames that we've already done throughout this game. Like, if there was a whole variety of different minigames, I wouldn't be having this issue. And as I said before, this is the same issue that I had with Splash Star's video game. I'm sorry, but like, Splash Star is a good game. I'm not gonna knock it down. It is a very good minigame collection, but it has its own problems when it comes to trying to repeat the exact same minigames that we've already done. Mainly the trivia minigames, because those are the ones that got me frustrated the most. Oh boy. But yeah, that's the minigame we finally completed, and we're going into yet another minigame. Yes, this is the first part to where we have to go through 2 minigames in a row before going to the next part of the story. And once again, this is a minigame to where we have to find the exact. So you have to wait for the right time to spot the pink heart, and you have to tap on it in order for the flowers to appear. If you do it wrongly, you have to try again. And you have to keep doing this until the timer runs out. Again, yet another minigame that has been repeated throughout this whole game. I will give Go-Go a lot of credit, because it had a lot of variety of mini games for us to go through. Note, we didn't have to repeat the exact same ones. No, we had to go through like 20 different mini games. To be fair, 2 of them were pretty much similar to each other. One where we had to control his syrup, and the other where we had to control his Nozomi. But for the entire game, we still going through different mini games. That's something that I can appreciate of Go-Go, especially with the amount of characters that we get to play as. 11 characters in this game. That was definitely a good roster of characters. Either way, those are the two mini games we had to complete, and we also have to complete a third one later on. Yes, this is the first storybook where we have to go through 3 mini games. 3 mini games in one story. I'll never understand why, but maybe they try to, I don't know. Maybe this is for, like, probably when, maybe this only happens to whenever we only have one story left to complete for a certain character, or a certain story, depending on which story, not depending on which story you complete, but, so I would say it doesn't really matter which story you have to go through, I think. I really cannot wait to get to Go-Go. Again, that is easily the best 2D. That's easily the best 2D Pretty game I have ever played, because for one, it's a puzzle game. And seeing that it's a puzzle game, meaning that I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I'm really gonna have some fun with it. It's not a puzzle platformer. It's nothing like that. It's a simple puzzle game. You have to match the exact correct gems in order to get to the next story, the next part of the story. So yeah. Not to mention, the game also introduces new characters. That being the six princesses. I'm really trying to find something else to talk about. I probably should have had a guest commentator to help me out with these playthroughs. Cause I don't know how long I can actually go on. I don't know how long I can actually go on without being silent, trying to think about what to talk about in these games. And of course she finds out that her grandmother is missing. But I will say that Smile Pretty Cure, while it's definitely while it's definitely pretty low in my top 10 list, like, of best Pretty Cure seasons, I do appreciate the world building. I do appreciate its knack of world building that it has, from going through different fairy tales to going through all around the world and stuff. They even had a lot of fun episodes. They've had a lot of other fun episodes. There was one episode where they had to go through a whole different, that had to go through so many mini games in order to head back home. Like Sunny racing against Wolf Run in a race. That was one of the best ones. That kind of made me wish that there was a Pretty Cure a racing game. Like, if they're gonna include all of the actual cures, at least do so in an All-Stars racing game. That would be amazing. That would be pretty fun. I mean, I'm sure they can pull it off on a Nintendo on a Nintendo Switch. I'm sure they can pull that off. Just a simple Pretty Cure racing game. No need to be so complex. But yeah, from Akane and Wolf Run racing against each other in a racing game, not in a race, but an actual race, um, to Wolf Run and Beauty, racing each other in a swimming contest. Except that's the one. That's the one thing I forgot to mention. Thought some of these games that they played. Thought some of these games they played, the villains would be trying to cheat, which is expected considering that they're villains. But just come on, at least learn to be a goddamn good sport about these mini games. As you do so, the Cures didn't have to whip out their powers. Peace did not have to use a Peace Thunder in order to get a strike in bowling. Sunny didn't have to use her Sunny Fire in order to speed up to win the race. Hell, Beauty didn't have to freeze the whole pool just to skate her way to the finish line. Like all the you would think that maybe the villains would at least play a fair game. At least Namakoto was pretty fair when it came to baseball. Like his team lost, and he took the L. He took the L there. He told the Psyarch that he has to accept his cleansing. So pretty much Namakoto may be a lazy bastard, but at the same time, at least he knows how to play fair. Hell, I can probably say the same for Orski, because he's more focused on becoming #1, but I do see him as some kind of I do see him as some kind of respectable villain. In all honesty, he's more entertaining. He's more entertaining than Namakoto and Hoshiwa. Which makes sense why it's called the Orski Trio. Because out of the three, he's pretty much stronger than the other two. But he's not on the level of Phantom. So, yeah. And even though he's a good villain, and I still consider him along with the other two as fodder. They're nothing but fodder to Queen Mirage. But either way, we're going to yet another minigame that we've already completed. This is yet another game where you have to guess the right card. Once again, they shuffle the cards, and you have to pick the right one. There's one card that has the grandmother, and the other three cards, which is the big bad wolf. You have to pick the grandma card, so you have to click on the grandmother card, and the cards will be shuffled up, and you have to find the one. But you're eventually gonna find it anyway, seeing that it goes really slowly. Unlike how Mario Party Superstars does it, where let's say you're trying to go for, there are 6 items on the ground, and all of them being shuffled up. You have to go through. You have to find, let's say there are 6 items, and one of them has the triple dice, and you're trying to find the triple dice, and all 6 of these items are covered up in barrels, and you have to find the right one. They shuffle them up, but it gets really faster as they shuffle the barrels. So you have to be sure to find the correct one. You have to make sure you keep your eyes on that specific barrel. Your eyes are gonna hurt when it comes to trying to find the right one, but if you manage to see which one is, if you manage to know which spot the actual item you're looking for is on that specific, where it's at, then you'll be able to find, oh my god, it's so hard to actually explain this, but if you know the item that you're trying to go for, you know the exact spot to where that item is, then you're golden. You're golden. And that'll be the last time we have to go through these minigames again. The 8th storybook finally completed. So if you're looking to get this game, you better hope you have a 3DS that is jail. You better hope that you have a 3DS that is region free, and you better hope, or go for Citra, either on your phone or on your computer. Those are your options there. Again, I wish I could have been the first to actually do these playthroughs, but hey, better late than never. I don't mind taking second place. Though I find it odd that there are some people who actually upload videos, you know, making a whole timeline of all the particular games. Who knows? Maybe they might be maybe they're not really interested in, maybe they're not into being Let's Players, or maybe they're just making their videos just to make their videos. You know, just to show off how the games actually started. I'm not sure, but yeah. If they were to make another particular video game, I say at least try to make another dancing video game. Cause the Wii only had one game. The Wii only had one game to it, and that was particular All Star Zen Shugo. I can't remember the full name, but I know it's a dancing game. So, and I've seen a lots of gameplay footage of it. Who knows? Maybe they didn't. Maybe it probably takes a lot of time in order to make a pretty good game for the Nintendo Switch. I don't know, but like, you know, at this point in time, you know, maybe we might be able to get one in 2024, which will be the 20th anniversary of Pretty Cure. Because I know people are saying that 2023 will be the 20th anniversary. Oh, that's something I'm not getting with these people. Getting certain shit wrong when it comes to this anime shit. From Pretty Cure, from the people at Toei making the Pretty Cure series, claiming, like, making the Hokuto that's the 15th anniversary, even though that came out in 2018, and 2019 was where the 15th anniversary should have happened. And on top of that as well, a lot of people in the Dragon Ball community claiming that the 11th DLC is actually the Supreme Kai of Time update, when it's just that's a major update. I don't understand how can people mix up DLC and an actual update together. Either way, yeah. So yeah, that's about it. This was Smile Pretty Cure. Let's Go Marchen World. I gotta say, not really a game that I would put in my catalog. Not really a game I would say that is up there with Go Princess or PS Pretty Cure 5 Go Go. Not even the first game on a Nintendo DS, which is Max Heart. It's definitely not up there with those three, and it's definitely not as good as Fresh and Sweet, but it is better than Heart Catch, and it is better than Yes Pretty Cure 5, so I will give it some credit there. I can't really say about Doki Doki, but because I still have yet to try out that game, and I know Happiness Charge does it way better. It has an actual story and actual more stuff to do in the game. I mean, it is it's not just a minigame collection or dancing game. It also has its own story, so I can appreciate that. I think Smile Pretty Cure is a mediocre yet decent Pretty Cure video game, to be precise. There's barely anything for you to do other than just, mess around with these stories. You can dress up these cures, but that's about it. And you can put and actually have them dance to certain songs, which is I don't know this because there's only like 2 to 3 songs you can actually do this for. And you can also make postcards as well. But yeah, that's about it for this game. Definitely not something I will go back to, but it's just okay. It's just okay. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this playthrough. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, if I can't get Doki Doki running, then we'll just have to skip over to Happiness Charge. But only time will tell. We'll see. Until then, this is the Starlight Let's Player signing out. As always, Goki Genyo, and have a startastic day, everyone.
I knew I would fulfill my dream, yeah. They knew I started from the bottom, now I made it, yeah. The possibilities are endless, yeah, I say, yeah. I got the roots and I got everything I need, yeah. And now I'm chilling with a pretty gentle lady, yeah. She got a kind of gentle personality, yeah. She got them curvy hips and a booty for booty.